Game of Thrones battles have included some of the most spectacular war sequences ever put on the small screen. Events like the Battle of the Blackwater and the Battle of the Bastards rank high among the show's best and biggest moments, and House of the Dragon follows suit with similar battle concepts. As the Targaryen Civil War commences in House of the Dragon Season 2, introducing dragons versus dragons makes for even more awe-inspiring battles, with the battle at Rook's Rest already proving how drastically different the war's landscape and potential for utter devastation are from Game of Thrones. Rhaenyra Targaryen's new team of dragon riders officially sets up House of the Dragon's replacement for Game of Thrones' iconic Battle of the Bastards moment. The Battle of the Bastards saw Ned Stark's bastard Jon Snow and his army face Roose Bolton's bastard Ramsay Snow and his army face off outside Winterfell in Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 9. It's still considered one of the greatest episodes and battles of the entire franchise, with House of the Dragon now having the opportunity to parallel that fight with similar themes and cinematic spectacles in the upcoming second Battle of Tumbleton. Targaryen bastards being dragon riders sets up the second Battle of Tumbleton. House of the Dragon has its own bastards versus bastards battle coming up, before the Targaryen bastards arrive at Dragonstone to claim the family's available dragons. Rhaenyra remarks to Mysaria in House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 7 that she will build an army of bastards. Rhaenyra does exactly that with the dragon seeds, as her army now has 4 dragon-riding bastards to lead the charge. Prince Jacaerys on Vermax, Adam of Hull on Seasmoke, Hugh Hammer on Vermithor, and Ulf on Silverwing. While he hasn't been seen flying his dragon yet, there's also Rhaenyra's bastard son Joffrey on her side with Tyraxes. While Rhaenyra has her own army of bastards on one side in House of the Dragon Season 2, this won't always be the case. Later in the war, Hugh Hammer and Ulf betray Rhaenyra at the first Battle of Tumbleton, as they turn their dragons on Team Black's own army while defecting to the Greens. This leads to Rhaenyra being suspicious that Adam of Hull will do the same, so Corlys Velaryon's bastard son tries to prove his loyalty by flying to Tumbleton and facing the betrayers on his own. With Adam of Hull on one side and Hugh Hammer on the other, the bastards and their dragons engage in a catastrophic battle that culminates in the deaths of not only the dragon riders, but also each of their dragons. Consequently, much like the battle in Game of Thrones, the second Battle of Tumbleton serves as House of the Dragon's own Battle of the Bastards. With Adam of Hull on one side and Hugh Hammer on the other, they engage in a catastrophic battle that culminates in the deaths of not only the dragon riders, but also each of their dragons. Furthering the comparisons between Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon's battles, Adam is legitimized as a Velaryon by this time in George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood book, similar to Ramsay being legitimized as a Bolton. There are plenty more battles to come before OTD reaches the second Battle of Tumbleton. The second Battle of Tumbleton is the last large-scale battle in the Dance of the Dragons, so there will be quite a bit of exposition to still cover before it arrives. Before the second Battle of Tumbleton, House of the Dragon must adapt the Battle of the Gullet, Battle of the Honeywine, the Fish Feed, the Fall of King's Landing, the Butcher's Ball, the First Battle of Tumbleton, the Battle above the God's Eye, and the Storming of the Dragon Pit. Several are massive battles that each could take up entire episodes, so it's unlikely they'll all be covered in Season 3. House of the Dragon will likely require 5 seasons to cover the entire Dance of the Dragons and its immediate aftermath. In order to fit it into the very end of Season 3, House of the Dragon's timeline could be adjusted to have the second Battle of Tumbleton occur before the Battle above the God's Eye and Storming of the Dragon Pit. However, it's more likely that Season 3 will end with a big event like the Battle above the God's Eye, the duel in which both Daemon and Aemon Targaryen and their dragons die. As such, the show may save the second Battle of Tumbleton for early Season 4, with Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen's death occurring shortly after. The Battle of the Bastards set very high standards, considering how highly regarded the Battle of the Bastards is among Game of Thrones' best battles. Surpassing it with another bastard versus bastard conflict will be difficult in House of the Dragon. Importantly, the second Battle of Tumbleton lacks a major beloved character as one of the combatants. Adam is a very likable character and Hugh's story has been made more tragic in the show, but it doesn't pack the same punch as one of Game of Thrones' main characters and the primary bastard Jon Snow facing one of the worst villains to avenge his sister, brother, and home. While Adam flies to Tumbleton to attack Hugh and Ulf, Fire and Blood explains that Hugh dies early on when he's killed by members of Team Green and Ulf drunkenly sleeps through the entire battle. Introducing dragons into the bastard versus bastard battle makes House of the Dragon's conflict very intriguing, but the emotional weight of the fight won't be the same as in Game of Thrones. However, the second Battle of Tumbleton will certainly feature far more devastation and ruin than Game of Thrones' Battle of the Bastards given multiple dragons are involved. Additionally, seeing the deaths of 3 big Targaryen dragons will be quite the spectacle as House of the Dragon sees the beginning of the end of the dance.